Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Whoa.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Right and wrong.
Welcome to Right and Wrong. This is the show where we try to wake up the woke by talking common sense about the issues of the day. I'm your host, Brian Ruka, and with me as always over there is my man and yours, producer Juice. He is known as the greatest producer east of the Mississippi, south of the Mason-Dixon line. My man Juice Box, what is going on tonight, brother? How you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. Whoa, see what a little bit of an intro does for this guy's attitude?
Yes, sir. Happy
I love it.
Independence Week.
Happy Independence Week to you too, my man.
Not month.
so-
We can't get a whole month, but you know.
No, we're not that cool. We're not one of the 7 deadly sins. So just a day will suffice for independence, I guess. Or a long weekend, maybe we'll say, when it falls on a Thursday. Oh, I love it. So we weren't canceled again, just to give you guys that. We just when things pop off at the wrong time, debate happened on Thursday night, kind of caught in between, like, should we try to go pre-debate, post-debate, then, rolls into a weekend, all this stuff, Independence Day coming up now. So that's why we're a little off schedule with the timing of the show. I know you guys all watched that debate Thursday night. And if you've been paying attention to shows like this, you weren't surprised at all by the condition of the two candidates. I think a lot of people probably were. I think some people bought into the lie spun by the media that this guy was sharp as a tack behind the scenes. That's what they've been telling everybody. So I know where most people have caught in all the clips that came from this thing. You guys have broken it down. You've heard people comment on it, but since we like to kind of do things, we're big list guys here. We like, lightning rounds and top 5. This is top 10 favorite movies, right, Juice? What's your favorite ride? Top 10 rides at Disney World. We used to do the rights and the wrongs of the week, all that good stuff. So we figured that we would give you guys our debate reaction by doing a top 5 greatest Trump moments and a top 5 worst Biden moments from the thing. Because quite frankly, if I might steal the future president's line, Biden didn't have any great moments that we could use. And I know a lot of the focus has been on how poor Joe did, how poor he looked, how old he looked. I actually think when I rewatched it to prep for this show, I think Trump crushed it. I don't think he's getting enough credit for some of the answers he gave, the way he composed himself, some of the lines that we're going to show you that he got in. I think he did a top-notch job. So
Everybody goes with the easy line of like, we're screwed either way. You see these two nitwits?
Thank you. And I almost was going to move on without even thinking of this, but that's what I got you here for, my friend. Always the brains of the operation. When I talked about it for briefly at work with a few guys, like most people, no one knows exactly where everyone stands on things. So like a couple guys, I didn't really watch much of it. I heard a few things, and kind of to your point, we're screwed either way. Either it's a guy who's too old for it or a pathological liar.
Convicted felon.
I was like, what do you mean pathological liar? I was like, I watched the thing. I was taking notes through it, and I don't think they were ready for that. But I don't think he was a pathological liar. I think at times his showmanship gets in the way. He might exaggerate a tad, but I'm okay with that. The other guy, Biden, not only old in falling apart, pathological liar. We're going to hit him with a few of them coming up here, but this guy lies for a living. He really does. So I was a little surprised at the fallout, to be honest with you. And that is exactly the way the Biden camp's trying to spin it. I'm sure you guys have seen that clip of Jill telling him, "You're such a good man. You did a great job and answered all the questions." and he's sitting there looking lost. And their thing is, and what did the other guy do? He lied. Like, that's what they keep trying to say. So I was blown away when I heard the other side's reaction with that. Like,
And then the disingenuous something, right?
Yes.
People not being genuine about like, oh, he's ready, and then immediately flip like, oh, we need to pull him out. Like, dude, this has been you've been lying all along because he's looked like this for a year and a half.
Exactly. So
Like,
that's
been
the other
going downhill, and it's not the same as day one. He was an idiot then; he should have never been elected, etc. But it's progressively getting worse. It's not going to all of a sudden start going uphill.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. But that's the second part of it is I think it was a wake up for people, and I think it should be a wake up to who you getting your media from, who you getting your information from, because these people have just they've been pulling the wool over your eyes, telling you like you touched on it. This is the best version of Biden we've ever seen, Scarborough, like a month ago, until the weekend after, the day after, he should do the right thing and step out of the race. Crazy. So, all right. So what we're going to do today is the whole episode is going to be debate coverage. And like I said, we're going to do our top 5 favorite Trump moments contrasted with our top 5 least favorite Biden moments and go through the list that way. And with that being said, why don't we welcome in our good friend, Mr. Ric Flair, because guess what? It is showtime, baby. Woo!
Showtime!
That was a good one. Woo! Woo! I caught myself from dropping the baby in front of it this time, too.
Too many babies, baby.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we grabbed this debate. It's all the one clip, and my man chopped it all up for us, but it's from the Wall Street Journal. It was on their YouTube page, just in case we need to give credit where credit is due. I don't want to get busted and taken down. I don't want to get a copyright nonsense, but I guess without further ado, our number 5 moments coming up here.
Number 5.
All right. This is Joseph R. Biden trying to give a nice answer and a response when he was questioned about Medicare, and I think is what he was trying to answer. So, Juice, you want to give us the Biden clip?
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they've raised $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
500 million,
Billion.
billion,
Trillion.
gazillion, trillion, billionaires dollars.
Look, you know the thing. Remember, he said,
Yeah. You see Trump's face when he started like rambling. He just gives him that look. And again, A+ on the split screen did wonders for Trump versus Biden during this whole thing too. And that was great. I don't know if I edited it correctly for you there, but is that what Trump dropped the "you killed it" or something? Right? You killed Medicare.
yeah.
It might not have been. I might be getting ahead of myself, but it was awesome either way. Biden, like again, what are you trying to say though?
Don't give him numbers. Don't give him numbers.
No. Don't give him numbers at all. Never. And he just, I think he gets bogged down in them. And at 8.2 trillion, we'll make him 25%.
Or 24, whichever one.
20.
That would generate 500 million. Billion.
billion monopoly
Say
dollars.
Six jurors do this, and 5 jurors do that.
Yeah. I mean, he might have been in Camp David prepping with Bass with that Bass math there, right? You take the 500 million with the gazillion trillion and you drop it into the percentage of the 25ers and the 1%. And we got to pay more taxes, man.
Look at Jack.
Come on.
Jack,
Come on. Don't get bogged down in all the numbers. We just, these billionaires need to pay their fair share.
Out, in, and up, down.
All right.
Bidenomics. We're building it from the inside out and the outside up.
Oh, it's awesome.
Jack.
All right. So, number 5, best moment for Donald Trump. This is going to be a two-parter. We'll jump in between real quick, but he gets questioned, of course, about January 6th. We all knew it was coming, and I think he answered that one perfect. So let's go to that one first, Juice. His response to questions about January 6th.
And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. That what happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
A+, right? You knew the question was coming.
You got to flip it.
Yeah, it was perfect. And to remind everybody how much better their life was, though, on that day than it is today, I think was brilliant. And
I forget what he does, but they go back to the question and they say, you have 80 seconds.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I told Pelosi to do this. Now she's admitting it on tape. Like, that wouldn't have been a bad clip to have.
No. Well, you see, like, that was the hard thing about trying to narrow this thing down and chop it up. You have to leave some good stuff there, but you're right, because they went right back to him with like, well, the question was like,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but I love how we play that on January 6th. We had the best border.
Exactly.
On January 6th.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
And he went into the Pelosi thing like, oh, Pelosi just admitted on camera that she was responsible for not having the Capitol Police ready there and not having the extra bodies I offered to have. And how about just the fact that somebody said this too recently? One of Trump's greatest abilities is he talks like us, like talks like a normal person. So instead of, he's talking all this stuff and then just like a bunch of stupid people, like instead of trying to go with like something bigger and, just like a bunch of now we're treated as a bunch of stupid people. That what?
So you see where that gets the other guy when he tries thinking.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Talking.
All right. So the second part of the Trump top 5 was later on. He was asked about accepting the results of the election. So kind of feel like these two things go hand in hand. That's why I kept them together. But let's see how he handled that line of questioning.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these. But the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand.
Great again, though, right? Like, and to bring it back into you guys are going after your political opponent. The one
driven
little piece,
very high.
Very high, quite frankly, the greatest numbers. But what one piece, and I'm not trying to claim this as an original thought. I feel like I've heard a lot of people make this point, but he did miss out on a tad there where he could have been like, will you accept the results? Like CNN, will he accept the results when I beat him? Like, too, because
we make the
Hillary
results,
Clinton.
so
What's that?
we make the results.
yeah, exactly.
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, but it goes hand in hand, obviously. And he accepted the results by leaving the White House. So that one drives me nuts that they still want to keep talking about this. He can say all he wants. He can challenge it. That's his right to do. But when push comes to shove, he handed over power to the man on stage with him right now, dying in front of our eyes. So that's it, people. All right. Number 4.
Keep going.
Greatest moments from Trump and worst moments from Biden. We got a little.
Yeah, I got a number 4 or whatever. You want to introduce it? And then before the clip, I'm going to do it.
Smart.
I switched this around on you. Just
look
let me
at
do
you.
what I'm doing.
I like it. Okay, so we'll start off again with Biden. This was I grabbed this one because what we talked about at the start of the show with the other guy just lied. Biden was old, but the other guy just lies the whole time. So this is the start of the Biden lies that you're going to start to see. Pretty much every clip from here is a lie from him. And this one caught me right in real time, right off the bat. Like, I can't believe this guy just said this. And I guess without further ado, let's go to Biden number 4, Juice.
Number 4.
There you go, see?
There it is.
Truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
What? Did 13 military
Marines
members die
in Afghanistan?
in the pullout of Afghanistan? Maybe Joe Biden's worst moment as president, and he's had plenty of them. That was just a disgrace. Trump hammered him on it at points in this debate, and how you could sit up there and say that with a straight face. No, he couldn't even say what he was trying to say. Oh, nobody this century, right? That's what he like stumbles over. Excuse me, decade. What's with like all the time too?
The tech, nervous tech.
But yeah, he has a cold too. Remember his team tweeted that out about 20
and he had a
minutes
speech
into it.
impediment 80 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. That miraculously showed up about 8 years ago. Crazy. So this guy, like, that I think pisses me off more than anything else, where it's like, say what you want about Trump. That guy is who he is, man. And that's kind of the beauty of him. I think that's why he resonates with people. He's a big, brash, blowhard from New York. And what you see is what you get. Biden is a shady, sleazy, slimy, slippery politician that's been doing it for 50 years at this point. And he'll say whatever he needs to say to whoever he needs to say it to in order to stay in power, stay in control, or get money from the person he might need money from. So it's just, to call the other guy the liar in this is mind-boggling. All right. What about Trump's 4th best moment? And to all of my people out there who are pro-life, like me and Juice, this might not be your favorite clip from Trump, but let's hear what he has to say. Let's hear what he said when questioned about abortion. And I'm going to tell you why I think it was a top moment for him, even though it's not exactly the same way I feel as a pro-lifer about abortion. So, Juice, you want to give us this one?
Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical, because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth.
Love it. Love it. Because his actions that he took put us in the position we're in right now, where Roe versus Wade got overturned. He picked 3 judges that helped get that overturned. He did what no other Republican president has been able to do in 50 years, 60 years. So I understand that he still needs to win a general election and appeal to people that are a little bit more in the middle of this issue than you or I might be. And he flat out says it. You got to get elected, right?
And he did both too. He's like, some people need to follow their heart. They might not feel like this, but
Exactly.
I do this too, and you got to get elected.
Exactly.
And it's like, just leave it up to the states. Like, that's what happened with overturning Roe. Was,
exactly.
You know, figure it out for yourself.
Exactly. And it's like, you can't, I think we probably have learned a little bit since the Dobbs decision came out, is you can't just go like all in everywhere too, because that's what people panic about. You do like it's unfortunate, but it's better than nothing. And you have to take small steps to turn around a culture, turn around a mindset. You can't just go from, 0 to 60 with everything. And I think we're on the right path for that. The fact of the matter is, in the last 2 years, there's been less babies killed by abortion than there was, 2 years prior to that. So that's a good thing. It's not perfect. It's not where we want it to be. But this man allowed that to happen. He made the right decisions. He said in his answer there, you got to get elected and you got to be able to do other things. And I think that's an allusion to that as well. Is like, we can't do anything about this unless we're the ones that are in the positions of power. And you got to be able to do other things. I think that alludes to, like, we have to make sure we have enough Republicans in the House and in the Senate in order to do the things we want to do and we need to do. And you got to get elected. Simple as that. So I thought it was a great way. And the best part is to then say that and to put it on them at the end as the radicals in this conversation, which I think he did a couple of times throughout the night. He said,
I'll give you incest, rape, protection of the ladies. Like, but
that's what most people ask.
If you gave them that, they wouldn't have been okay. Like, that's in a conversation come up. Hey, these things. Say if I were to say just in a debate, like, fine, have that. Like, that's not the answer. It's birth control.
Exactly.
And preventing a mistake and my career. It's not about incest.
Yeah. It never has been either. They use that as the arguing point in to what you're saying. If we conceded that and gave that to them right here, but let's put a solid standard 15-week, ban on it, they wouldn't agree to that. They wouldn't, because they're the radicals on it. They want it up until the moment of birth. In some cases afterwards, like, again, Trump talked about the governor in Virginia there that he was talking about. And it's crazy, but he did a great job taking it, sounding like, this is, the moderate in the conversation, in making them the radicals. So A+ answer. That's why it was in the top 5 for me. All right, let's move on to the number 3 moment in the debate.
Number three.
Because then I would have to go back up to the clip, so it doesn't work.
All right.
Let's try that again. Do that again. One more time.
Okay, so now let's move over to our number 3 moment in the debate.
Number 3.
Woo-hoo! Look at this. Good stuff. So once again, these are our top 5 favorite moments. Don't forget to subscribe to our Rumble page. It's the Right and Wrong Podcast page on Rumble. Our YouTube page, Right and Wrong Podcast. Please give us a subscription, follow the show, and that would help us out a lot. Now, number 3, we're going top 5 worst Biden moments, top 5 greatest Trump moments. And number 3 here, when Biden claims to have lowered drug costs for the American people out there. And again, give this guy some numbers and let's see how much he can get out of it. Juice?
His administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for a insulin shot as opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can include beginning next year. in a situation and we're going to make that available to everybody, to all Americans. So we're working to bring down the price of around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
All the drugs you could eat, dude. Just like $200. It's just a,
have all the drugs.
You know, like a buffet.
Oh man, that was incredible.
200 tops. You can have all the drugs you want.
Yep. And you know what? He tried to. I didn't pick up on it all the way at first either, but like he tried to at the very end of it. Is he wants to? He loves that image in his head about like the kitchen table topic, right? So he tried.
Yeah,
to,
when he brought
bring
Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out burgers to like
oh
people.
Man. And he
In
kept doing
Delaware,
it.
when we sat around the
we sat around, and these are real life decisions you got to make around the kitchen table, and you got to decide: do you want to give your son, your daughter, an insulin shot, or do you want to feed your family? Man, come on, think about it. Number one, you got to feed your family. Number two, you got to get your insulin shots. Number three, you got to get all the drugs in all the worlds.
Whoa!
Oh, it's crazy. So
like I'm for lowering prescription. Like I think that stuff is out of whack. Not for like, oh my god, let's do like social healthcare craziness, but yeah, like it should be lower. But I don't know what all he did.
I think honestly, like I don't have a great feel on the dynamics of all of it, but I do know I don't want government to just come in and mandate like the cost of like things. But from what I understand, and you know, if it sounds off topic, or you correct me if I'm wrong, if you know for sure, but the way I understand it is we develop a ton of drugs in this country here and medication, and we don't charge as much when we send it to other countries. We send it to other people who like a Canada or like whatever places like that have like cost controlled healthcare, and we let it run wild here. And we are, I do know that we are like one of the only countries that can directly advertise to the patient on crazy. TV, which is kind of crazy.
Ours isn't the right solution, but like, you know, say in like the UK or something, when you're waiting 3 hours for an ambulance because the national health system is overrun, that's not the answer either.
No. And I generally try to be like, the more government's involved, the more government tries to control it, prices skyrocket from that and service deteriorates. Like, so I don't want him being the one in control of it. But what he was trying to say there is that it's not.
But it's bananas, dude. When you like get a bill for like having a baby, and it's like $800,000, and it's like your payment is like $8,000. Like one, that's like having a baby can be like, you know, maybe $4,000. I don't know. But like it is expensive. But like the bill that you see, they're like, oh, we didn't have your insurance on file, which is also bullshit too, because like we probably like $600 a month out of the check.
Oh yeah, for your insurance, it's insane.
But well, that's if you like, do something or you don't, you pay it. I mean, I guess that's
one of those things we have.
Is, to be honest.
Well, no, but like we have no clue what any of this stuff costs either. It's like going to the mechanic and be like, oh, well, you need a new Johnson rod.
Yeah,
like,
right? Your blinker fluid's low.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you got the baby delivery. Oh, well, you got the the cleanup. We got to clean up all the fluid that leaked out. We got to that scale we put them on.
Did your wife defecate on the table when she was pushing? Yes or no? You know, they say that like,
yeah. Oh, you watched the swaddle video? Yep, that's an extra upcharge.
Extra wide stirrups. You know,
you told the person had the lactate consultant come in, boom, charge on that. So all of it. But yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but you can't get up there and try to tell people that you lowered it to $200 when it's $2,000, or that you lowered it to $15 when it's $35. And again, be the person who's just the old guy, not the liar up there on stage. So it's just a horrible answer.
It's sort of like a little bit disingenuous to begin with, because check me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments or something. But, you know, statistically, Black people are more susceptible to diabetes. So like he's doing the insulin.
To try to appeal.
They always
to that.
Play on insulin because
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. I don't know for sure on that. We'll put it in the comments. It could be. But why don't we shift over to a good moment then? How about that? Your boy, Mr. Trump, when he was asked about, taking retribution on his opponents. And I think any little thing this guy says, they try to like hammer him for and hold him to it like verbatim.
But I might have diabetes, bro. Let's be honest.
I'm the diabetic.
No, keep going.
So yeah, they just try to hammer him on anything that guy says, any little thing. So, you claiming
you're gonna get him back if you become president?
Retribution on your opponent. Blah, blah, blah. What do you say to that?
1-1. Let's see what he said.
Let's see what he said.
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor, having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump.
A+, right? Perfect. And no, go ahead.
No, sorry. You continue, and then I'll.
I just think it was like phenomenal because again, it's like you're taking a little bit, he's taking it on what they're trying to say to him, and then boom, deflected. He's like, boom, pass it right over to Joe because, dude, you're the corrupt one. Yeah, that's what he looked like.
Like the Trump one's like,
yep.
Like react to the moment, not like,
yeah,
chill, you hear what he's saying?
Ooh. Just like staring on the mouth open. Like crazy. Yeah. I heard somebody talking about this too. There's like, there's somebody out there who loves, or whatever, a political pundit who says that the way to watch debates, like to tell who the winner is to put it on mute and just watch these guys. And if anybody who did that, like they'd be, again, you wouldn't be shocked. You'd be like, oh, it's a home run. The guy on the left side is crushing the other guy who's sitting there with his mouth open, fading off, looking confused, instead of the guy who just has like the power look on his face the whole time. Crazy. So great answer. I love that he brought in the Ukraine thing because I still think too many people sleep on that. And we've played the clip on the show more than once of Biden talking to the crowd in Ukraine, not in Ukraine, sorry, talking to the crowd.
Like at the summit Ukraine. Or something, one of these.
About being like, and I told them, well, you're not getting.
If he's not on by the time I'm on the plane.
Exactly.
If he's not out of here.
President, well, you know what? I'm getting on that plane, Jack.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the guy was out. Like, that guy was looking into his son. It's clear as day.
And they're saying like all the, it's all hearsay, but they're saying like, some family members saying, step aside, others not. I heard like Hunter's like, dude, you gotta.
Hunter's all in. Stay in. Yeah.
Right. Like keep this money rolling in. Keep me out of jail.
Yep. Dude, he's his number one.
Dude, smartest guy,
Smartest guy.
Why are you taking their advice? You should stay in.
Stay in. Jack. Stay in. Jack, absolute crackhead. Crazy. So I just think, again, like it was a great answer. So let's shift gears and keep the list going down to our number 2 favorite moment from
number 2.
Trump, worst moment from Biden. Love it. So this time Biden gets the 2-part treatment because he kind of had, it's a similar topic and broke it down because it wasn't like back-to-back kind of took out a little bit of the filler stuff in between. But this was the way Biden handled the question of abortion. And, you know, we threw Trump on there earlier because I think he handled the question, you know, as well as he could handle it. And this guy, Biden, handles it the exact opposite way, as badly as you could handle it. So the first one, he's trying to talk about the rape incest type of stuff and just butchers it completely. So let's start with that one.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women who are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous. And they,
I mean, at least it's like he's got the pro-trans vote right there, because he acknowledges that a woman could be raped and impregnated by their sister, who probably has a penis at that point.
Or the sister rapes the male, and she can get it.
Come on, man. Come on.
I don't know. But what did he say?
She
just went to the funeral of it, but come on. And then,
you know,
what did he say? What did he say though when he transitioned into his hit? We got uncles raping wives.
Uncles,
hide your kids, hide your wife. You know that good? They're raping everybody out here.
Everybody up in here in the Biden administration. Crazy.
Hide your sisters, hide your
He couldn't do it. And this is something I noticed it there in that clip, and it was bugging me big time on the rewatch. Like, what camera is Biden looking into? Every time it goes to him on the regular, he's tilted to the side. Like,
that might have been when they're talking about that, you know, the Jack or whatever his name. What's that guy, Jake?
Oh yeah.
The lady going like
points the camera.
I don't know what she's saying, or maybe like your mic's coming on next, your question next.
See, I think
conspiracy.
Yeah, I saw the thing going out there, and Ashley brought it up to me. But like, honestly, I watched. No, the pot came up, and I'll tell you exactly what I think happened on it. And it's not a conspiracy theory. It was right at the end of the abortion stuff, and Biden said something ridiculous, and Trump goes to respond, but they were moving topics, like cut his mic, and they moved the screen from him too, so you couldn't even see what Trump was trying to say. And right then is where she does that. So I actually think she was like,
directing
to Trump, like, dude, we're on to the next question. Like,
yeah, and whatever.
You know what I mean?
Which, like, I think they did a great job.
I do too.
I mean, granted,
really
our
did.
guy demolished.
Yeah, of course.
But like, it was.
No, they were
had
fine.
To say the
they were fine.
They had to.
I mean, while we're on that,
was fine.
While we're talking about them though, like, and I didn't bring this up because I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I texted it in our group text too. Where were the questions about puberty blockers for kids or like anything trans related? They kept that completely out of it, and I would have loved to see that. I don't know if that would play great for our guy. Maybe we're better off that it didn't even come up because it's a tough topic. Obviously, people have a strong feeling on it, but that's a huge issue. It really is, and it was nowhere to be seen on it.
Yeah, but they scheduled a couple of them out, right? And like
that's true.
CNN's one, and then
yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah, terrible answer by Biden.
There's no chance he makes another one though. Like, right? They won't let him get up there again.
I don't think so. No. And what about the part 2 on Biden's second worst answer that he gave when he's trying to explain how Roe versus Wade worked, the trimester system in Roe v. Wade?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Third trimester is between the woman and the state. Let's leave the politicians out of this. What?
I don't know.
What are you trying to say there, pal?
Is that how
Crazy.
it was though? Anyway,
No,
woman
no,
and the
no, no,
doctor,
it
the
wasn't.
doctor in the.
Yeah, he wasn't meaning to say state, like
Mm.
but it's like, how stupid do you have to be in your very next breath to say, let's take the politicians out of this? You
But
just
wait,
put them
hey,
into
late
it.
term abortions are between the woman and the state.
Yeah, the state gets to decide that. Come on. Crazy. So just a terrible explanation. And again, like not what we should be looking for. Like we don't want that. I'm sorry. We had a couple of big Supreme Court decisions come down that we're not touching on that happened day after the debate, Monday, about like, how much power the administrative state has, things like that. And I want less power in those things. He's trying to give away his power to the doctors. Look how good that did us in COVID. Like, oh, we'll just outsource our power to the doctors who say what the
To
science
the
says.
experts, the
Let's say
CDC, and the
like there's
non-electables.
always going to be an expert class, and they're unaccountable, unelected, unanswerable to the people. So I'm sorry. Like,
Remember that other stuff? Are you going to let your people do it? Like the
What?
phone call between like one like governor to the. Are you going to?
oh yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly.
The CDC told me not to do
Mhm.
this. Are you going to let them?
Yep. And like, I'm sorry, I'm not willing to do that. I don't want it to just be it. It's not just between a woman and a doctor because it involves a third person, the one that's living inside the woman. Like, so I'm sorry, like that you can't just say, oh, woman and doctor, end a case, like closed case, end of story. No, like the public has a right to have an opinion in this matter, and the politicians represent the public. So it is a political matter. It's a way we live our lives, and we could make arguments both ways about it. But the state has a say. They have a seat at the table, if you will, with this. So get out of here with that, Biden. Terrible answer. All right. The second best comment, I guess, from Trump was when Biden, again, this is to Biden's lying when he tries to talk about the Charlottesville and the, oh, no, I'm sorry, not Charlottesville, right, Juice? This is the suckers and losers when he tries to say that Trump, called the
World War
dead
II.
soldiers.
I mean, World War One.
Yeah, a
When-
bunch of suckers and losers, like terrible. So let's see what Trump had to say on this one.
I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his four-star general, and he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son, Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize.
You look just like him. You look just like him. Oh, incredible. Incredible. He didn't know what to do. He looked scared. And that was perfect.
And like stupid, like why would somebody say, "Oh, these are a bunch of suckers and losers"? Cemetery, dead soldiers and stuff.
Exactly.
No one said that. Make up a better lie.
But and think about that, like to what I said like earlier about him being able to speak the way normal people speak and speak to normal people like us. Like he just humanized that so much. I mean, like think about it.
Did
Who
I really
would say something like that? Like, right?
Remember Biden
Like,
checking his
what am I,
watch
a lunatic?
at the honorable exchange or whatever?
Yeah.
When they bring,
Yeah.
I don't know what the real term is. What is
Horrible.
It? How much time we got on this?
Yeah, how much longer I got to be here? Matlock's coming on, like crazy. So I just thought it was a brilliant answer. And again, being able to then tie that in to the intelligence agencies, people, the intelligent, CIA officers, the 51 of them that signed the letter that said that this, laptop is classic Russian disinformation, and that got all proved to be BS, but it affected the election last time around. So to be able to take something like this, to be like, this is ridiculous and crazy, it's being made up. And look, the way I know that is because you do it with other stuff too. Look what you did here with this one. It's insane. So I thought it was a great way to like handle it, answer it, humanize it by who would say such a thing, and then pivoting and throwing it back on. These are the people that are making this stuff up. And this is some of the other stuff they made up. You heard Russia, 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 and that all total bullshit. Crazy. So I just thought it was great. And he exposes it, and he basically he comes with the receipts to show you. We all lived through this stuff. We know that it wasn't a Russian conspiracy. So here you go. You really think I'm going to call these dead soldiers suckers and losers? Like, you're an idiot. And he's talking about having 19 people back him up. Biden's like, I got one general that said you said it. And later on that comes up, and Trump's talking about how he fired him. He's like, yeah, this guy, whoa, no love lost between us here. Of course that guy would have a reason to make something up about me. Right? So, great job. Great job. All right, Juice, you ready to slide into our number one best moment from Trump and worst moment from Biden from the debate?
Number one.
That's me, for the record. You know that?
What is? That's you?
Number one.
That's your voice?
I know, it sounds like a guy like coming to theater soon.
Yeah, that's nice, man. How
Number
do you
one.
like that, baby? Lower. Right?
How does that feel, baby?
Yeah.
Machine Gun Jubblies. How'd I miss that?
All right. So the worst moment of the night for Joe Biden, we couldn't narrow it down to just one. I wish we could, but we couldn't. So we're gonna two-part him again because it's just he deserved it. He had a terrible night, and this is when he tries to talk about Charlottesville and saying that Trump talked about having good people on both sides. Hold on one sec. Did you start it yet? You didn't start it yet. Because I forgot. It's really not Biden twice. It is.
I know. I've named it correctly.
Yes, I forgot that
Biden screws it up. Trump responds, and then
exactly. And this is all just a terrible moment for Biden. So we're going to give you the first clip of what Biden said, and jump back in real quick. So let's go with Biden first.
What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had died, I decided in Iraq, because of Iraq, I said I wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. They spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones," he said, "I think they're fine people on both sides." What American president would ever say, Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people? And this is the guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I'd like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
And that was, he said that's why he got in the race, right? Excuse me.
Maybe that's when he lies.
Two great people on both sides. Who would say such a thing? Again, nobody, because who would call a bunch of dead people suckers and losers as well? This thing was brilliant. Trump perked up. He really did when this got brought up, because he was waiting for it, and he had the perfect response, which is also Joe Biden's worst moment of the night. So this is actually Trump responding to that right here.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out, because when you see the sentence, it said, 100% exoneration on that. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency, he's without question the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place. Every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day, it came out where it was fully debunked. It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
Perfect. And he's referencing
debunked.
Yes, and he's referencing Snopes, a left-leaning fact-checking organization, completely debunking the Charlottesville good people on both sides thing about 3 days before the debate happened. So it was like literally in the news cycle, and it was something that was a topic. It's not like it got debunked a year ago. It was like the week of the debate. And this knucklehead who was supposedly prepping at Camp David for the last 10 days leading up to it still used it, still tried to go with it live on camera there. And Trump, again, like I said, he was waiting for it. He knew, and he's able to just boom, debunk it. He throws it on. I love throwing it on Jake and
you know this.
Dana. You guys know this. Like, you heard the same thing. Come on. And horrible president, the worst president of all time. So awesome. All right. Trump, best moment of the night. A plus. And this will be the lasting, I think, moment for most people. It was just top notch. This is up there with the, because you'd be in jail to Hillary, or the only Rosie O'Donnell. Like, it's up there with those moments. And it was just awesome. This was great. So Juice, you want to give it to us?
It's the end of Biden.
Yes.
There are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
A plus. And to drop in I don't think he knows what he said either.
Well, did he start it by saying, like, hey, there's 40% less illegal crossings under me?
Oh, yeah. Like,
ridiculous.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And he's like, until we get the total ban on, I mean,
and he just stops, like, and he doesn't know where he's going with it. Oh, incredible. Great moment. And I love that he didn't come across as like a bully with that. Like, sometimes he can come across as a bully. He's just like, literally, like, I don't know what he said. And anybody watching that doesn't know what he just meant by that either. Like,
no, it's like a kid calling somebody fat or look at the black person, and that's like, come on, that kid's, I don't know what they're talking.
No, he didn't do
like,
any.
He did it that way. No, I'm saying he did it like, come on, he doesn't know what he says.
He doesn't,
like
him. No, I thought you were saying like he didn't just like pick out on, that person's.
Oh, no. I'm saying, like, come on, it's a kid. He didn't know what he just said.
Yeah. He's like, no, can't do anything with that. And then he goes and answers. Oh, awesome stuff. So there you have it, folks. Those are our top 5 great Trump moments from the night. Top 5 worst Biden moments for the night. I just had a Biden moment there trying to say that. So please don't forget to subscribe to the show. YouTube, they might remove us, who knows. But Rumble, please subscribe to Rumble. We need to get these numbers up a little bit. So tell your friends, tell your people out there, please subscribe.
Hide your wife.
Don't hide your subscriptions, please. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to our come on, man segment of the day, which is typically something that a moment, a clip, somebody saying something doing something so ridiculous, so absurd that even though we're going to make fun of them for a couple minutes, there's not much else we could say to them except,
Come on, man.
yes. So, in the spirit of keeping everything debate related tonight, we're going to bring a come on man where it doesn't quite fit the normal standards of a come on man because, again, we love Trump. We thought Trump aced it. This, although we just gave Trump his line at the end there, my number one best moment that he had of the night. This one here that we're about to show might have been my favorite moment of the night. Just personally, I was cracking up at this. This was hilarious. And I thought it was awesome. And it's in the come on, man, because Biden was so ridiculous with it. And Trump basically is going to do our job for us in the clip and just ruthlessly make fun of the other guy. And it's just epic. So I guess without further ado, let's see what happened when the topic of golf came up for these gentlemen.
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And, you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what anyway, just take a look at what he says he is and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Okay, let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
21
turn
Let's not act like children.
You
to
are
a
a child.
specific.
Let's not act like children. You are a child.
Yeah.
I seen you swing. I know you're swing. Like,
But see, Juice, that's the best part of the whole thing too, is that the whole thing is childish, but then him of all people, Donald Trump, is the one who drops the "let's not act like children."
but what's his name? Yeah, I guess he's ace the thing. Doctor never seen anybody ace it.
Yeah,
I
the
aced
greatest
it,
ace.
Dr.
Oh, I aced it with flying colors.
He's at 1-2 championship. But like Biden's when he starts talking numbers, he's like 6 handicap. I was an 8.
Yeah, that's an 8.
Like,
Trying
dude,
to
don't go to numbers.
He's trying
And
to.
then he
trying to
started
get-
out with numbers saying 6'5", 225, 35.
220, 35. He says 20, 35. 6. Well, what'd you say? He's
Whatever
6'5".
he says. Look it up and then
35
ask him.
pounds.
He didn't say it.
So he's like trying to razz him, and he can't even get a burn on the
He's
guy.
I'll
Like,
challenge you to a drive off. Or whatever.
yeah.
Like a drive away or something.
Oh, it's incredible.
Drive challenge.
And it's awesome because like honestly, we laid out like the whole thing was about how many times Biden lied throughout the night. And of all the things he lied about, this one pissed off Trump the most too.
He went off screen. He's like,
he's
right?
like, come
Otherwise,
on.
it was just,
I can
he was
deal
like
I
even
can deal
keel.
with
But he said, I'm a 6-handicap. He goes, oh.
yes. I can deal with no troops dying under my watch. I can deal with $15 like
Insulin.
prescription
Good
prices.
people,
I can
suckers
deal
and
with-
losers.
Suckers and losers. But don't you dare come up here and try and tell me you're a 6 handicap. Oh,
Challenge me
awesome.
to a drive off.
No, I won 2 club championships.
Not senior.
Not even a senior one. Gonna be quite smart.
He's like, I saw your stroke. I saw your swing. I know your swing.
Can't hit it 50 yards.
And like Trump swings like pretty good, for an older, like an 80-year-old guy. But like, I'm kind of second guess. Like, I feel like people are like, dude, you can win. Like, he's not winning 2.
No, I'm a little dubious of the claim of winning 2 championship club.
Yeah, but that like lie on the stuff that doesn't matter or whatever. Or but I know he would win in a golf match.
Well, maybe he won 2 club championships, but they're all people trying to get a cabinet position that are like, better slice this one.
Yeah, they belong to 2 clubs maybe where they're trying out one. And then,
Yeah, absolutely. But there's no doubt in my mind, if you put those 2 side by side, Biden he's not gonna stand a chance trying to outdo.
I would if the next debate, like you seen how they did these things where it was like, I don't know if it was Tiger versus Phil, but whatever. They did these one-on-one like pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if they did a debate like that where you're just in the earpiece and they're playing golf.
That'd be great.
He's like, I know you can hit it 50 yards. Like,
dude, get them at like a Top Golf somewhere. Have them hit, and whoever like gets the better shot, better score gets
an extra 30 seconds.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Come on, Jack.
Come on you dog-faced pony soldier.
Absolutely. So that was incredible. It like I said, it doesn't quite fit the spirit of the come on man because Trump did most of the work for us there. It was brilliant job. But clearly that goes directed towards Mr. Joseph R. Biden. So you, sir, have earned yourself one big fat classic.
Come on, man.
And that'll do it for today's debate recap. Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, please subscribe to the shows. Follow us everywhere you see us. We still throw up those audio only episodes on Spotify and Apple. So continue to subscribe. Please help us pump up these numbers. And I hope everybody out there has a happy 4th of July. Please, when you're at a barbecue, remember what happened, why this country's here. Remember why these flags behind us are so important. And please just remind anybody you're with that America is the greatest country in the world. It still is, even with a corpse in the White House like we have right now. And let's take it back. Let's make this country great again. And when you hear those fireworks, give us a nice loud America on the 4th, baby.
And with that being said,
thanks for having us.
Me.
The Right and Wrong Show is produced by Juice. Executive producer, Juice. Audio mixer is Juice. Hair by Skull Shavers. Wardrobe and makeup by Ashley Ruka. Right and Wrong song created by Juice. The Right and Wrong Show is copyright 2022 from Brian Ruka.